I'm Matthew Perose, and I run HowAIWorks, where I help everyday professionals learn how to use AI to save time. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build your first AI agent in just a few minutes. We're going to get set up, prompt the agent into existence, and test it on a real task, so by the end, you'll have something that actually provides you value. The easiest way to understand how an AI agent works is by looking at this graph over here. So we see we can have some sort of request. We tell the agent we want it to do something. It goes to a model, and then that model takes an action to use a tool, which the model then observes, and that continuously loops until some sort of result is achieved. So it's request, model gets to see the request, the model takes an action to use a tool, the tool sends an observation to the model observes what the tool did, and then it continues this loop until it gets to a result. So understanding that, let's try to think what's a good result that we want with a project like this, right? I think AI agents are very good at understanding the sentiment and context behind some sort of task or topic, right? Maybe it's not so good at getting things done 100% of the time, but it can definitely summarize things. It can definitely put things into perspective. And I really believe that if you want to become more effective, if you can summarize all the context that you have from, let's say, emails or the conversations you're having, you can get into a really good spot. So right now I have open this tool called T3 Code. You can do this pretty much in Claude, in Codex, in any one of the apps that you want to choose, but this is the choice. This is the app that I use. So I recommend that you pick whatever you want, whatever coding agent you want. We're just going to prompt a actual agent into existence though, using LangChain. So LangChain is an application layer that allows you to build with LLMs, and it allows you to do it super easily. I don't want to get too much into the code today. I want to more talk about the concept of using other tools to make your agent more efficient, right? Because technically, I could talk directly to OpenAI. I could talk directly to Anthropic when building out this agent. But instead of doing that, why don't I make a separate layer that allows me to communicate and switch out models to make my agent more efficient and not reliant on one company, right? I think moving towards that direction is definitely the future of AI, at least it is for me. So why don't we start building an agent using natural language that can actually use any model and it can do any task no matter what model you pick. So in order to do this, I want to make something that's really simple. I want to make an email agent that actually goes through my inbox and summarizes what emails I need to get back to, what I missed, and where I should go throughout the day. So let's do that. Let's first define what the agent's going to be called and how to build it. So I'm going to be using a couple of things here. I'm going to be using the LangChain skills, which if you don't know what that is, go to the LangChain website that I have linked down below, pick up the skills from there and add it to your agent. And let me just say, start from here. Let's say I want to build an AI agent that goes through my email inbox, finds all of the important emails that I either missed or need to attend to for that day, and then drafts emails for follow-ups or for reaching out to people. I want to ensure that this tool is built on LangChain. Use the LangChain skill in order to build this. Okay, so I'm just going to send that off right now. So as this is going off, I just want to remind you guys that the way that I build my agent is going to be a little bit different than yours. I just want you to understand that the framework for building things and even watching videos like this is going to be a little bit different in the future, right? Like, for example, I could technically go line by line, write this entire agent out, and just explain to you how it works word by word. But you and me both know that's not how people are going to be programming in the future. So how can we get around that? Well, I can create videos like this showing you the types of prompts that I send to my actual agent, and you'll get this in the comments down below if you actually want to build an agent yourself. So now it's going to go out and create a small Python project, and it's going to make the version provider agnostic, which means that it doesn't matter which agent or which LLM you give the agent access to, it can just actually work without it. Okay, so now it looks like the agent's done. We built the LangChain email follow-up agent scaffold in agent evals. Agent.py uses LangChain create agent with inbox search, email lookup, email client, handles IMAP reading, local email and draft writing, and optional SMP testing. So it looks like this works and looks like this works. Okay, so all right, so it looks like in order to access this agent, I actually had to go out and get an app password for my Gmail. So in order to do this, I had to log into my Gmail account, search up how to create an app password, and I just did that. And now it's saying for me to run these commands in PowerShell. So it's saying to activate this script and install with this. Okay. Create a virtual environment. Okay, so now I'm in the virtual environment. Now it's building dependencies. And now I'm going to run the agent for today. And we're going to see what the agent says. So it looks like the email agent actually went out and created these drafts for me. So you can see, hello, I have an invoice. This is me sending an email back to them. I have a question regarding my Etsy statement. I can send an email back to them. And what's cool about this is that I can switch out whatever model that I want and pass in any sort of different key to get my email agent to do and act on different things. So I'm actually going to ask the agent to do something else. I'm going to say, hey, right now it's being a little bit too specific with creating a draft for every single response. Is there any way to ensure that I'm drafting only for conversations that actually need it? Should I use an LLM to parse my email? How should I go about doing this? So sometimes when you're working with an agent, you have to realize that it's only going to do what you ask it to. And so what I'm trying to do right now is make an email agent that can reply to important information, but it looks like, see, I don't need this Chris Williamson email. I don't need this Luma updates. But if I'm having a conversation with somebody that I need to follow up on, like hosting a Claude Code workshop, I definitely want my agent to be able to do that. So it says, yes, you should use an LM to parse the emails, and you already are. The problem was the prompt policy. It treated it as important and needing a draft as the same thing. So now the agent only separates drafts created, needs attention, no drafts, ignored or low priority, needs user judgment. Okay, so now let's run the command again and see what the agent does. And let's actually change the date to yesterday instead of today. All right, so it looks like the agent was created. And you can see here, here's my daily briefing for 2026-05-31. There's nothing that I needed to do in terms of creating a new draft. I had a meeting with somebody else beforehand, and I have a bunch of low priority events that I don't need to get through, right? LinkedIn invitations, security alerts about Google, whatever. So pretty much that's it. This is how you build an AI agent using natural text and natural language. It took me a little bit of time because this is my first time doing this, but I really believe that this is the future of building your own software, right? Most likely, let's say 5 or so years ago, there used to be a tool that would charge you money for access to something like this. Now, all you need is the know-how and the understanding of how an agent works, and it can go out and actually build that for you. So I'm going to keep this running in the background, and every single day I'm going to get published a notification, maybe on my phone, maybe in a Discord channel, and see what the agent says. And from this, I'm just going to continue building upon it and keep improving on it. And by the end of it, I'm going to have my very own agent that can organize me and help me get back on track. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something, because the way that I'm going to be creating videos in the future is going to be less of a tutorial style, more of a me and you just walking through how I would go out and build something. That's because I believe AI education is changing, and I really hope that this video provided you value and that my bets are making sense. So thank you so much and have a great day.